surprises here. As we are getting underway here, Briguy77, first out of the gate here. We'll be syncing up momentarily, kind of during the prologue. But this is the first chapter, so what you're seeing right now is Madeline moving without dashing. She'll be getting her dash in just a few moments here in this kind of prologue sequence. Bunny hopping's a little bit faster, so you'll see these runners kind of hopping their way across the screen here in the meantime. And we are getting a sync going right now. Zinpars just got started here, so we'll kind of take a moment and get everybody on the same page here. All right, and so now we're getting underway here into the main event with the first formal chapter of this game with Forsaken City. This is where you kind of see most of the movement tech in this run that you'll kind of see throughout. Now that we have the dash in our repertoire, you'll see Briguy going for a nice wall bounce there on the left side of that screen, and another one there off of that stop and go block. Lots of wall bounces going on kind of early in these first few screens here, and all you have to do to input one of those wall bounces and gain a ton of extra height is simply dash into a wall and then jump. But the use of that mechanic is actually pretty tricky to master, I'd say. Your placement has to be kind of very exact. You have to be kind of flush with the wall in order for it to work. And we have vorpalll here on the top right screen, doing a nice dash there across that screen to get down the left side of it pretty quickly. All right. Briguy and Zinpars both kind of cruising along at the moment. They are a little bit desynced, but we'll kind of see if that ends up changing as we progress through this first chapter. Briguy wrapping up here. Let's see how he does with this final screen of Forsaken City, opting not to go for the wall bounce, the neutral wall jump strat there on the left-hand side of the screen, instead opting to go for the traditional strat. And you'll see Zinpars actually going for the strat that I was just talking about there, as he wraps up Forsaken City as well. vorpalll, not far behind. He's going for the neutral wall jump strat here. And he gets there. All right. All these folks starting to wrap up the first chapter, moving into chapter 2. I will run down the PBs one more time here because we do have some folks coming in. Briguy77 with a 42.53, Zinpars has a 40.21, vorpalll with a 51.56, and GammaFunction with a 1:11.05. Those are the times to beat. All right. So GammaFunction wrapping up Forsaken City as these folks move into Old Site, the second chapter here. We get these cool dream blocks that Zinpars is kind of cruising through right now. They're pretty cool. You can kind of just continually dash in one direction until you wind up on the other side of them. But you can collide into walls and die if you're not careful, so it's very important that the runners are mindful of where their placement is going into these dream blocks so they don't get wrecked. All right, and we have these three runners here kind of moving into the battle and fight, the first encounter with battle, and as looks like GammaFunction kind of struggling a little bit at the end of Forsaken City, trying to go for a faster strat. And he's going to finish up with about a 3:35 prologue plus Forsaken City. As we have Zinpars and Briguy moving towards the second half here of the battle and fight. Zinpars moving very cleanly through this last section of Old Site where the battle and sprites kind of stop chasing you and you're kind of left to your own devices. Just some uneven terrain to bound across here with some hyper dashes. That is dashing into the ground and then inputting a jump. Getting caught on a couple of those springs there here as Zinpars wraps up Old Site. And he's going to cruise along with a 403, very respectable Old Site split. Briguy just cruising along a little bit behind at the moment. And GammaFunction seems to be waking up a little bit after getting kind of stuck on a strat there in Forsaken City. Now very quickly advancing towards the Battlein section of Old Site himself. As Briguy starts the Awake section, let's see how he moves through this. It's always a tricky section here. There's no enemies or anything like that to worry about, but it is very easy to lose time here just because the terrain is so uneven. So you might see some of these runners just get caught up on edges, and that can cost a handful of seconds here for a lot of folks. vorpalll kind of moving slow and steady through this enemy-free section of Old Site here. So very close to Briguy at the moment in terms of their times. vorpalll coming out of there with a 458 and just a couple of deaths. Briguy coming into Celestial Resort Chapter 3 with a 450. And we have Zinpars already in progress through the first chunk of Celestial Resort here. Really tricky part of the run here. This is a very reset-heavy portion for folks if they're on like an any percent grind. Just lots of moving parts, lots of cycles that you really want to get first try, because the death cycles are a little bit different. So a lot of the metagame is just kind of being aware of those death cycles and just kind of knowing how to get your way out of sticky situations and kind of improvising as you need to. Zinpars is going to be the first person here to enter the huge mess section of Celestial Resort. There's 3 branching pathways you can choose from, kind of top, middle, and bottom. The way that most folks go, and that you'll probably see here, is starting at the bottom path, moving to the top, and then finishing in the middle. You see Zinpars going down to the basement first. I'd say it's the trickiest part of Huge Mess for this next screen here that Zinpars is going to try to attack. Those cycles are nasty. He gets through it first try. That's huge. How's he going to do with a spike jump here? Gets it first try, no problem. Spike jumps are kind of a misnomer because they're really just wall jumps. If Madeline's facing away from a wall with spikes on it, and inputs a dash and a jump, kind of flush with the wall, the spikes actually aren't really a concern. Like, the hitboxes don't hurt Madeline at all. So that can be used in a couple of places, like what you just saw on Zinpar's screen. And we have some nice sync going on between vorpalll and Briguy at the moment. Briguy does have the IGT advantage at the moment, but both runners keeping it close right now, RTA, which is always kind of thrilling to see. vorpalll coming in with a sub-2 Huge Mess enter that's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. That's pretty clean for his skill level. Let's see how he does with the basement here. Moving into these handful of tricky rooms here on the bottom. Ooh, whoa, dude. Easy does it, man. He, like... I've never seen somebody, like, reactively dash like that. That was nuts. GG, vorpalll. Way to go. That was wild. Okay, cool. Good save, dude. Alright, still got some sync going on there. Let's take a look at GammaFunction here. Just starting Celestial Resort. Getting a nice little key skip there by kind of doing a couple of screen transitions. And now entering the resort proper here. Always a tricky room here going on GammaFunction screen. If you fall off cycle, it's very hard to do fast, and now we're going to have to see some improvisation here. Yeah, lots of just... lots of hurt boxes kind of everywhere at the moment. This room's really tricky, and you can get pretty easily caught up on it if you don't really know the backup. Let's see how GammaFunction does here. Oh, getting the strawberry for style points. Very nice. GG's. We have Zinpars here, moving into the section after Huge Mess here, the elevator shaft. Oh, just barely getting the key. It looked like he almost missed that key, which could have been really bad. That's a room where you have to do like 4 consecutive hyper dashes across platforms in order to get that key on an ideal cycle. We have Briguy and vorpalll still pretty synced up right now in the laundry room, the middle section of Huge Mess. Both on the final room here. vorpall's the first one out, RTA. Briguy's still holding on to the IGT advantage at the moment. As these two runners are going to be entering the elevator shaft section that Zinpars just finished up, as Zinpars himself moves into the Oshiro fight. Another cycle-heavy section. You have kind of an angry demon Oshiro chasing you on a set timer. So you just have to kind of watch out for his charge attacks here. Let's see how Zinpars attacks these last few rooms of Celestial Resort here. Making pretty good time. This is looking like a sub 6 maybe, if I'm reading the timer correctly. It's a little pixely, so I can't really tell for sure. We'll see though. Yeah, I think that's like a 5:35 or something. Alright, moving into the final room of the Oshiro fight. Always tricky, getting some nice dashes here at the start. Oh, unfortunately gets caught up in a Dust Bunny cycle there, unfortunately. But cruising the second time around. Playing a little bit safer maybe than in the first attempt here. Going for a nice ultra strat there at the end. That's kind of a chained hyper dash there. And Zinpars finishing up with a very respectable resort split there. That was like a sub 6. vorpalll and Briguy still playing it close right now. As a GammaFunction, looks like there's a little bit of a lag situation going on with GammaFunction. So we'll check in on them later. But both Briguy and vorpalll entering the Oshiro fight here. We could see a lead change here, even though they're not like officially facing off against each other. That seems to be kind of the matchup to watch at the moment. As Zinpars here entering Chapter 4, Golden Ridge, we have some wind going on. Getting a nice cloud jump there on Zinpars' screen. Always a tricky room to get, because that the pink clouds in Golden Ridge disappear after you touch them once, so if you don't get the jump that you want the first time around on that screen, you're kind of done for. It's really hard to recover from that. Alright. Ooh, Briguy taking his time through that Oshiro room, the third to last room in the fight. And the sync is still strong for these two runners. As vorpalll unfortunately takes a death in the penultimate room there. Briguy's going to be the first one to the last room of the Oshiro fight. They're just trading punches right now. Getting a nice little bonk off of the Oshiro sprite there, and it looks like Briguy's going to be the first one out. Ooh, and vorpalll gets caught up at the very end of the screen. That's going to be a very costly death. This is one of the longest rooms in Celestial Resort, if not the longest. I think it's the longest, actually, by a fair margin. And taking a death here at the end is just emotionally painful and really hurts your time as well. So that's a little bit of bad news for vorpalll. And we're still getting some freezing going on from GammaFunction, so we'll see if that changes. I believe that happened in the last race that I commentated to with GammaFunction, which is too bad. So I hope that kind of resolves itself. All right, so we have the three live runners right now, all in Ridge. Zinpars cruising along the first half here. Actually, already almost done with Golden Ridge. Oh, but getting decked at the end of that auto-scroller. Trying to go for a skip there, but just not quite inputting the correct direction. You kind of want to do like a diagonal up input or a straight up input, and it looks like that was a straight right input, unfortunately. Zinpars is going to move into this room here. I don't know if we're getting some sync right now in terms of the timers. We'll see what happens. Oh, okay. It just looked like there was a little bit of a slowdown or something. Alright, so Zinpars moving into the final section of Golden Ridge here. This is where the wind kind of picks up in its intensity. You'll see it kind of pushing Madeline back quite a bit. And really just have to try to maintain your dash momentum as much as you can. Ooh, Zinpars going for the swag ultra strat there, but unfortunately getting a little bit caught up on one of the platforms there. All right. Let's see how Zinpars handles this room here. Very tricky room. You can do kind of approach it in any number of ways, but you just have to make sure that you don't get beat up in the head by a snowball. Zinpars makes it through no problem. It's a very tricky room. There's a number of ways to do it fast. Ooh, Zinpars with the save, with the bubble. Oh my god. That was nuts. GG. Okay. Oh my god. Whoa, Zinpars is going for like some swag, like route stuff that I haven't really seen in the last couple of screens. That was pretty sick. I don't recall that I've seen somebody go up top there on the last screen. That was pretty cool. All right. And so it looks like Briguy has taken a bit of a lead here over vorpalll in terms of the kind of the main matchup that seems to be happening right now. Briguy kind of playing it safe on that auto-scroller room that Zinpars got a little bit caught up on as he was moving towards the end of the kind of first half of Golden Ridge. vorpalll trying to get a reverse hyper going, but unfortunately doesn't make it all the way across. See how he does on the second attempt. Gets there. He's going to go for a wave dash. Playing it safe, going right onto the auto-scroller block there. Alright. Briguy now entering the last section of Golden Ridge with the heavy wind, as Zinpars is now in the first chunk of Mirror Temple, Chapter 5. Grabbing that key, no problemo. Looks like there might have been a bit of a mishap looking at the chapter time at the moment. Alright. Let's see what Zinpars' approach is here with this room. Opting to go for this, the very cool skip. Unfortunately doesn't make it all the way across, but goes for a backup. That strat's really hard to execute because you have to do like a reverse hyper as that tiny little block on the left-hand side of the screen is kind of retracting back to its original position. Very tricky, not a huge window for it. Zinpars going for DBS? What's going on? Zinpars is going for double bubble skip, I think. What on earth is happening? The absolute madman is attempting double bubble skip. Oh my god. Is Zinpars gonna get it? Oh my god. Oh my god, Zinpars gets double bubble skip. Wow. The TAS. The absolute TAS. Oh my god. Style points from Zinpars there. That was nuts. Oh my god. Alright, and Briguy now entering the start of Mirror Temple here as vorpalll is wrapping up the last couple of screens of Golden Ridge. Zinpars unfortunately lost a good amount of time going for double bubble skip, but props. That's one of the hardest skips in the run. And the persistence was very admirable, if nothing else. Alright, Zinpars moving through this this kind of nightmare section here where you briefly play as this NPC called a Seeker, which will be chasing Madeline around in the next few screens momentarily. Oh, I'm still like dwelling on that that double bubble skip from Zinpars. That was pretty sweet. All right, just going for all the cool stuff, but playing it safe there. Interestingly, not going for the reverse hyper there on that first section of this unraveling part of Mirror Temple. There's another reverse hyper that you can do, kind of similar to the one that he did at the start of Mirror Temple. All right, let's see how Zinpars approaches this screen. Unfortunately, catching the teeth of the Seeker there, but moves right along, moving pretty nicely through these last couple of rooms of unraveling here. as Briguy is just starting unraveling himself at the moment. Seems as though Briguy kind of gained a little bit of ground there from Zinpars going for some of the swag strats at the start of Temple. As Zinpars moves through the last room of unraveling, no problem there. Usually the Seeker there can kind of catch you at the last second. You have to do a little bit of improvisation just to not get eaten, but no problems there. Zinpars made it through. All right, vorpalll going for the traditional strat there, not the 2000 IQ double bubble skip that we saw Zinpars go for. That's kind of the route that you'll see most folks go through in that particular room. vorpalll narrowly missing the spike cycles there, the moving spikes there. That's always a scary moment because it's at the end of a very long screen. All right, and it looks like Zinpars is going to be the first person to enter the Theo section of Mirror Temple, the kind of one of the trickier movements of this entire run, because you have to carry Theo, this dude who's encased in glass, across a handful of rooms. And it's interesting because not only do you have the Seekers chasing you everywhere, but you also maintain some of your dash momentum every time that you like throw Theo and kind of grab him midair, which allows for some really fancy strats here. We'll see what Zinpars opts to go for. We've already seen some very sick strats from Zinpars in the first few minutes of Mirror Temple here. Going for like a more conservative strat there in that switch room. Going for a hyper off of that that lock block, and unfortunately Theo got sent into the spikes there. We'll see how Zinpars does with the second attempt here. That's more like it. And we have Briguy here in the bottom left going for Search Skip. This skips a couple minutes of the run here. All it takes is a dash to the right and a jump to the left. You have to time it well, of course, but if you pull it off, you save like 2 to 3 minutes. It's like kind of one of the prerequisite skips of this run. You just kind of got to know it. And Zinpars is very quickly moving through the last couple of rooms of Mirror Temple, seemingly kind of getting his bearings after struggling a little bit on a couple of the rooms there at the end. So Zinpars is going to be the first out of Mirror Temple with like a 6-2x. That's a pretty good time. Anything under 6 is pretty insane. So mid 6 is also pretty insane. And let's see how Briguy fares with the Theo section here. Oh, very nice. Narrowly got caught by the Seeker there. Oh, I spoke too soon. That's too bad. You hate to see that. You really do. But it's a very common thing to happen. You're just kind of getting through the last few pixels of the room and the Seeker just finds you at the last second and you lose like 10 seconds. Just because the Seeker's kind of got your number. Lots of improvisation can happen in these last few screens of Mirror Temple. Briguy going for a nice little jump there off of the Seeker's head, getting another one off of the Seeker's noggin there, and moving right along to the easiest part of Mirror Temple, or the easiest part of the Theo section rather, followed by a really tricky strat there off of that dash block. Alright, vorpalll quickly approaching the Theo section himself at the moment, as Zinpars is moving right along through the first section of Reflection, Chapter 6. Just a little bit ahead of the pack at the moment. Oh, Zinpars unfortunately getting caught up there on the edge of that Kevin block. And, just unfortunately losing a good bit of time here. I think going for a swag finish to this screen and just kind of opting out at the last second to go for a safer strat. So Zinpars now entering the section of Reflection in which you kind of have some branching paths that you can choose from. You'll see most speedrunners kind of go for a similar route that is generally agreed upon to be the fastest, and most of the time it involves them taking the upper route. You'll see Zinpars going down here. For this screen, and I think the last screen of this section of reflection. Moving right along through this part of the realm without too much of an issue. As vorpalll here is wrapping up Mirror Temple. Let's see how he does with the dash block strat. Oh, unfortunately not getting the momentum that he wanted to kind of jettison himself across the screen. Whoa, dude. Theo's just kind of running away from him right now. vorpalll, you okay, dude? Get out of there, man. Alright. He's good. That was a little bit spooky. Alright. Ooh, unfortunately Theo gets the edge of that platform and just doesn't make it. Alright. Briguy moving into the branching section of reflection that Zinpars just finished, as Zinpars is going to be entering the pre-battle and oh, almost saved it there. Didn't quite get the feather. Moving into the kind of handful of screens before the main battle and fight at the end of reflection. All right. As vorpallll's wrapping up Mirror Temple. All right. Right in the eyeball. GG's, dude. 5 chapters down, 2 to go for vorpalll. All right. And Zinpars here is quickly moving to the battle and fight here, getting a very nice boost here. Okay. So we have Zinpars, the first into the battle and fight here. Briguy moving down to the last section of the branching paths part of reflection, and vorpalll just getting started here with the beginning of reflection. Oh yeah, GammaFunction's screen has been frozen like that for like 15 minutes now. Alright. How we doing? Zinpars. Moving right under that laser, no problem. How will he do with this vertical room? Looking pretty good, looking pretty clean. He's out of there. Briguy moving down to the tricky part of the run here, opting to get the checkpoint by going to the left of the screen here, just in case he hits the spikes there going down. He doesn't. It's always good to be safe. Rather to be safe than sorry. vorpalll not too far behind Briguy. RTA in game time. Looks like there's never mind. There's like a couple minutes difference. Yo, GammaFunction's living, nice. And we find GammaFunction wrong warping 15 minutes into the future. Now at the start of Mirror Temple, skipped all of Golden Ridge, GG. And most of Celestial Resort. Zinpars moving into the second part of the battle and fight in reflection. Unfortunately gets hit in the head with these flowery spike things. Always a tricky room. You really have to be careful with your dash height there. Briguy now working through the first couple of screens of the battle and fight himself. Unfortunately took a death there in the middle of the screen. See how he does the second time around. Makes it down there. Not too shabby. Vorpalll moving right along this branching path section of Reflection, as Zinpars is coming into the final few screens of Reflection himself. Unfortunately, it looks like he's been getting a little bit caught up there. Nothing too major, but you know, unfortunately, these last few screens can be pretty demanding in terms of the just the precision that you need. As you can see, a lot of narrow corridors to kind of navigate through midair. You have to have really good air control, and you have to have good feather control too. So there's just kind of a lot going on. Ooh, managed to survive that first laser cycle, but unfortunately just hit a spike shortly thereafter. Coming into the last few moments, getting the oh man, getting that bumper block just to be safe, and now that's going to do it for the battle and fight for Zinpars. We've now leveled up, and we have 2 dashes on Zinpars' screen, which we'll be using for the final chapter of the run. Briguy getting there himself. Almost done with the first section of the battle and fight here. This is the last vertical room before we get a handful of cutscenes here, where we learn that we are indeed not a mountain climber, and that battle is just trying to help us or something. I don't know. This game has a story, I guess. Alright. Zinpars is going to be the first person into Summit here. Now we have to wonder, is Zinpars on pace? Usually you can tell by doing some quick math here at the start of Summit. We're looking at a 28:30. 28:37 enter, so Zinpars has to have a sub 12 Summit to get a PB. It could happen. It's on the table, but it's going to be tough for sure. All right, Briguy wrapping up Reflection, moving into the final screen of the fight here. A very tricky long one. Got these couple of feathers going on, and now that Briguy's through those, just has to make contact with Battle in here, and he does. So Briguy's going to level up here as Zinpars moves into 500 meters, the kind of reprise of Forsaken City. Some of the mechanics making a second appearance here. Again, Zinpars has to play really well to get a PB. It could happen. We could be looking at a sub 40 maybe. But speed has to be had. Could happen though. Briguy wrapping up Reflection with a 30-17. PB is a 42-53, so we're looking at like a mid-12 Summit in order to get a PB for Briguy, so that's also a possibility. We're looking at potentially multiple PBs here. Vorpalll making pretty good time too here. We'll kind of check in with him in a minute and see how his pace is looking. Yes, Vorpall's PB is currently a 51, and this is looking like a pretty substantial improvement if he stays the course. Summit works in pretty horrible ways sometimes, so we'll see. Zinpars moving through 1,000 meters here. The return of the dream blocks. This is I'd say this is my favorite section of Summit just because you just move through these rooms really quickly and smoothly. Just kind of holding onto your dash for longer than normal. Very satisfying. Zinpars not going for the swag hyper strat out of the dream blocks where you can kind of gain some extra speed. Just kind of playing it safe right now. I think Zinpars probably realizes that he's on pace. Despite Zinpars also spent a long time going for double bubble skip and mirror temple, so the fact that the fact that he's on pace is actually really respectable. That's pretty sick. As he moves into 1500 meters, this is a very tricky section with lots of cycles to be kind of mindful of here. A couple of long rooms as well. This first one coming up is a real doozy. Let's see what the approach is. Unfortunately gets a little bit caught up there. Seems to be off cycle at the moment. Let's see how Zinpars adapts. Oh my god. I just had like a small heart attack there. That was super scary. Alright, let's see how Zinpars does with the second long room here. That's more like it, getting a nice set of ultras there. Oh my god, crushing the room, accidentally goes into that bonus room there. moving like so fast, it like kind of loses sense of where he's trying to go. That was nuts. Good plays from Zinpars there. Briguy now moving through 1,000 meters as vorpall's wrapping up the reflection portion of the run. GammaFunction still live after kind of having a brief hiatus for about 15 minutes. Now on the Theo section of Mirror Temple. These really nasty seekers getting us at the last second, ruining our days and our runs. Whoa! GammaFunction with like the big IQ play there. I don't know if anybody like that was wacky actually. Like Madeline was 100% adjacent to that seeker and somehow didn't die. That was nuts. All right, vorpall now entering summit with. Let's check the time. This could be a huge PB for vorpall. We're talking like sub 50 potentially. vorpall has a 51 at the moment. Just needs a 17-minute summit to get a PB. Zinpars cruising through 2,000 meters at the moment, as Briguy just starting off the 1,500 meter section of summit. All these runners probably feeling the heat right now. Everybody wants a PB. Zinpars crushing the auto-scroller skip there. Very nice movement. Let's see how Zinpars does with the second auto-scroller here. Is he going to go for the wall bounce strat here? No. Playing it safe. Some nice movement here through this room in 2,000 meters. Ooh, very nice hypers. Kind of moving down there. Well-maintained speed. Now Zinpars wrapping up the last section of 2,000 meters with these battle and boosts. This is a very long room. You gotta hope that Zinpars doesn't take a death here at the end. It's always a very scary possibility, and you just lose 10 seconds, and it can really throw off your play. But Zinpars, no problem. Moving on to 2,500. This could still be a sub 40. But 2,500's gotta look clean, as well as 3,000 for Zinpars. Briguy moving along pretty smoothly here. Going to be going into 2,000 in just a second here. Just has to get through this last room of 1,500. Unfortunately, taking a couple of deaths there. Trying to get the first battle in orb. Makes it there eventually. Those are short deaths, thankfully, so Briguy's still in there. vorpall moving along 500 meters at the moment. Let's see how vorpall does here. Going for an interesting strat there. I guess that's the typical strat, just kind of bringing those crush blocks down instead of kind of going underneath them and around them. Alright, let's see how Briguy does with this room in 2,000 meters. A very tricky room. Very tricky room. Taking the top route, playing it safe instead of going for the hyper strat down on the bottom. Will Briguy go for auto-scroller skip? Not today. Not feeling it. Just wants that PB. Oh my god. That was pretty close. The up block there looked like it was about to intersect with the horizontal block. Thankfully, no problems there. Briguy's through. Playing it safe on the second auto-scroller room as well, just not really risking anything. Oh my god. That was a little bit scary on Briguy's screen. As Zinpars is wrapping up 2,500 meters, getting door skip, and now just trying to wrap up here. This last portion here. Gotta hope there's no death at the end of these really long screens, but gets through there. And from here, it's just it's checkpoint city. 30 checkpoints to go. Zinpars has 3 minutes and like 13 seconds to pull off a sub 40, which would be his first sub 40. He'd join the 100 people who have that time at the moment. I believe we just hit 100 people with sub 40 on speedrun.com today, which is nuts. Zinpars has to move though. 3,000 meters is a fickle beast. And it's very easy to just drain a lot of your time save really quickly, especially on this downdraft section where you have the heavy gravity coming in. Just kind of slowing down Madeline's speed pretty considerably. You gotta go for a lot of wall bounces here, which Zinpars is attempting. Still going for, as he's gonna move on to flag 24, skips it! Skips flag 24, oh my god. What a brave soul, oh my god. I can't watch this is too much for me. Oh my god. Alright, Briguy getting key skip. I believe. I just kind of looked down and saw that he had a key, so I'm guessing that he went for the key skip. There's so much going on, it's really hard to just account for everything. vorpalll looks like he's struggling a little bit on 1,500 meters, as GammaFunction here is moving through the branching pathway section of Reflection. About halfway through that section right now. Zinpars now in the updraft section, has 18 flags to go. 17. We're getting close, y'all. This is going to be down to the wire. Zinpars has to play clean here to get that sub 40, but it is very much on the table. Let's see how he conserves his stamina here going up. Ooh, taking his time and just like... That was a little bit scary on Zinpars' screen, but we're still in there. Long potential death coming up. Hopefully Zinpars makes it through here. Will he get up to the checkpoint? Yes. The way that trampoline kind of projects you, it kind of sends you a little bit off to the right. So you have to kind of finagle Madeline to go a little bit left to get through that spike section without dying, which Zinpars makes it through without an issue. 11 checkpoints to go. I don't know. I don't know what's in the cards for Zinpars anymore. Unfortunately, losing a little bit of time here on flag 11. Just unfortunately running out of time here with 10 flags still to go. And we're looking at 7 flags now for Zinpars. This is going to be close to PB. PB for Zinpars is ... 40-21. And I think he's just going to miss it. There's just a little bit too much platforming for Zinpars to close that gap, unfortunately. Just a couple more flags to go here. But still very close, it's looking like, as we're down to the final 4 flags. Briguy moving through the downdraft section of Summit. 3,000 meters. vorpalll taking the northern route there on the scary snowball room in 2,000 meters. Uh-oh. Oh my god, vorpalll, nice save. Nice save, dude. Alright, 2 flags to go for Zinpars. Cruising. Cruising on flag 2 here. Getting those nice wall bounces, and now we're on the final flag. Sub 41 for Zinpars, it's looking like. Just has to seal the deal here. So close to PB, so close to that sub 40 time. Just unfortunately couldn't close the gap there. But still a very respectable time from Zinpars with a 40-44. Nice job. GG's to Zinpars for sure. That's a very respectable time. And I bet that we'll be pulling off the sub 40 pretty soon. So GG's, GG's. Very good effort. All right. I think that Zinpars is going to come in for an interview. I saw him in voice chat a few minutes ago. We'll see what happens. All right, let's check in on the other runners at the moment. Briguy. Unfortunately, looking like he as well is just going to be just shy of PB. As vorpall's now entering 2,500 meters. vorpall's on sick pace right now. This could be his first sub 50 with a good 2,500 and 3,000 meters. As GammaFunction moving into the battle and fight here with a 42.30. So that could be a potentially big PB as well, depending on how this battle and fight shakes out. So we'll definitely keep it locked on GammaFunction screen as well. Briguy's starting to finish up here. We got 10 flags to go for Briguy. Make that 9. Ooh, hanging a little bit low on the spikes there. Still gets the flag 8 skip. That was a little bit scary, but it's all good. It worked out. And just for a reminder, Briguy's PB is a 42.53. So we just passed that, unfortunately. But both Zinpars and Briguy playing it super close to their PBs this run, putting on a very impressive display here all around. Zinpars, the absolute madman, going for double bubble skip and still almost getting a PB. So that was cool. vorpall's going for door skip to validate the run. Will it happen? Will it happen? Will he get it? Oh, so close. There's no saving that. Try again. If at first you don't succeed. Door skip. Alright. Briguy wrapping it up here. Approaching flag 1. Looking like a 44 here. Maybe a sub 44. Maybe, just maybe. Oh my god. Oh, not quite. Not quite. I just saw it turn over to 44. GG's though. That's a sick time. Sub 45 is no joke. Definitely have to pull out some fancy strats to get that kind of time. Yeah, I don't know what vorpall's thinking. I appreciate the effort though. He gets it! Yay! Woo! Hey, you know, it's all about having fun, right? It's all about having fun. Sub 50 can wait, I guess. Good effort from vorpall. First try. Alright, vorpall has 4.5 minutes to do 3,000 meters. It is possible. It is definitely... it's possible. It could happen. If this is his first sub 50 with that door skip, that's pretty funny. Alright. GammaFunction. In the second portion of the battle and fight right now, I think, yeah. This is kind of the end of chapter 6 for GammaFunction. Still has a bit of wiggle room here if he can move through these last few screens of reflection here cleanly. He'll have like, I don't know, like 25 or so minutes of wiggle room with Summit, which is more than enough to pull off a PB. Maybe more like 23, 24 minutes, but we'll see what happens. But that's more than doable. Just kind of looking at what GammaFunction's play has been looking like. vorpall here moving through the downdraft section of 3,000 meters. Always kind of a pain in the butt. Just got that heavy gravity to deal with. Madeline feels like she weighs like 2 tons. Alright. But no problem here. Moving up through these dash crystals, coming into the updraft section where that only becomes much lighter. This becomes much more manageable. Ooh. Good thing that vorpalll kind of just decided to plant himself down there, get the flag 17. Playing it safe, going to flag 16. Still potentially on pace for sub 50 at the moment. As GammaFunction wrapping up chapter 6. With a pretty clean finish to the battle and fight there. So GammaFunction's looking pretty good for a PB if he can just hold it together for this final chapter of the run. vorpalll down to 13 flags. This is a long death. Hopefully he doesn't get it. Nice. Plays it smart, goes right through the middle there. Alright, 11 flags to go for vorpalll. Will he go for the hyper strat? Looks like he's doing like a dash jump or something? I don't know. Doesn't look like a hyper. Playing it safe here, going for a backup. Alrighty. As GammaFunction just starting the final climb. vorpalll playing it very conservatively, going for flag 8. Typically you see runners skip that, but it's better to be safe than sorry. I respect that. Significant props. Alright, 6 flags to go. We have this feather screen coming up. Unfortunately, doesn't make it all the way up to that cloud, as he had hoped. But no problem. It's a pretty easy backup if you don't get it the first time around. 4 flags to go for vorpalll. As GammaFunction here is working his way along summit base on the last screen. Making pretty good time, actually. That's going to be a sub 1 summit base for GammaFunction. Not too bad. Alright. Final 3 flags for vorpalll. Unfortunately, just going to be missing out on that sub 50, it looks like. Unless he, like, cruises, like, starting right now. I don't know, man. It could happen. It could happen. I'm not going to rule it out yet. But he's got to hurry. Imagine if vorpalll didn't go for door skip. Oh my god. Oh no, dude, that one hurt. That one hurt. Oh, why did you do that, man? Why do you have to do that to me? Oh, man. Damn. Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt. vorpall's still gonna get a PB though. This is his first 50-minute time here. This is gonna be a 50-23, I think. We'll see what happens. That is a 50-23 from vorpalll. GG's to vorpalll. That is still a substantial PB. Good performance from him. Even with the door skip shenanigans, that was a personal best from vorpalll. So GG's. GG's. We'll see. If any of the runners want to come in for an interview, you're more than welcome to. As we're watching GammaFunction here wrap up. Moving into 1,000 meters here, the dream block section. Gamma still on really good pace to PB at the moment. I just want to refresh and see what the PB is. So Gamma has a 1:11:05. So we're looking at like 21 minutes to spare right now, and this summit play so far has actually been really smooth. So this could be a huge PB from GammaFunction. Let's see how they fare here for these last few screens of 1,000 meters. All right. I'm gonna switch audio here. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. GammaFunction, out of 1,000 meters, moving into 1,500 meters. These nasty cycles to reckon with. What is GammaFunction's approach? Playing it pretty safe here. Not going for the optimal cycles. Unfortunately, takes a small L there. Those dust bunnies are ruthless on the screen. It makes it through there. Alright, first long room of 1,500 meters. Getting a little bit hung up there on the start. Yo, what's up, Zinpars?
Hello.
Grats on the time. I know it wasn't a PB, but it was close.
Yeah, I messed up late game.
Yeah, the double bubble skip attempts were very entertaining.
Yeah. I usually go for those in runs as well, so it's not like something like PM or something.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. I'm glad that you got it eventually. That was sick.
Yeah, I usually get it a little bit faster, but yeah, it depends. I also don't know what I'm doing wrong, so I just hope that I get it usually, and it works.
Yeah, that was a highlight of this matchup for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, about
Briguy.
the late game.
Oh, sorry.
Like in chapter 6, there was one room where I kept dying in the battle line fight, and earlier today I had a marathon run, and I already died like 5 times in that room, and here again I died like 3 or 4 times in that room, and that tilted me a lot.
Oh no, yeah, it's time to practice that.
Yep, I'm just going back to that room right now.
Yeah. It's good to practice it and just make sure that you'll be ready for the next attempt. It seems like sub 40 is just around the corner for you.
Yeah, exactly. Looking forward to that.
So that's nice. We have Briguy in the room too. What's up, Briguy?
How's it going?
Grats on the run. It was a 44 flat, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Like
not too shabby.
PB, yeah. The summit was a little rough, but I had some good chapters in there, and yeah, I think it went.
Nice, dude. All right. Yeah, it was it was a lot to kind of observe at once with one commentator doing
Yeah,
four
I'm sure.
Yeah.
kind of 4 screens. But no, y'all definitely put on a good show, and it was very entertaining to watch. Do you guys have more races coming up, or what's going on?
But that was it for me. So I think I ended 3 and 4 in my group, which is probably not going to be enough to get me to brackets. But
That's too bad.
it's been fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I think I went like
Exactly.
1 and 6, and the one win was from a forfeit. So, yeah, it's all in good fun.
Exactly.
For sure. Zinpars, how are you feeling
About my upcoming races.
about your upcoming races? Yeah.
Yeah, I have one tomorrow against Bentisi, so I'm probably gonna lose that.
Oh man.
And then I should have like 1 or 2 more, but they haven't responded yet, so we will see.
Yeah, it's always kind of up in the air.
Yeah, but I think I'm on the edge of making it in the next round or not. I think it depends on those next races.
Oh no, that's got to be a little bit stressful then.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll pull out a surprise win against Bentisi or something.
Oh, maybe. That would be amazing.
He's only top 10.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too good, right?
That's not too bad. Yeah, you can pull that off, I think.
I mean, I'm like top 100. That's almost the same, right?
Yeah. You have a 1 and a 0
Exactly.
in there, just like Bentisi. Yeah, there you go. All right. Any final words, guys? I was thinking about kicking it back to GammaFunction here, but if you guys have any final thoughts or anything.
Nope. Yeah. Thank you for commentating, and yeah, it's been fun.
For sure. GG's on the runs, y'all.
Yeah, same for me. Thanks for commentating and GG.
Not a problem, my pleasure. Alright. So, GammaFunction. Wrapping up. 2,000 meters here. Going into 2,500. We're looking at about 15 minutes of wiggle room to pull off a finish here and still get a PB. So we will see how that shakes out here. Things are looking pretty good for GammaFunction at the moment. And of course, we know that one screen can really throw off a player's momentum in this game. So we'll see if things can turn around here and we can get a nice PB from GammaFunction. Opting to go for a safer strat there instead of kind of the fastest way of doing that room, which involves jumping into the room from spawn. Just kind of playing it safe right now. GammaFunction getting key skip first try. Fantastic. It's kind of a big deal. That skip can cost a ton of time if it goes poorly. Going for the dash crystal there instead of going straight to the left. Alright, making really good time here through 2,500 meters. Just a couple more screens to go here. Again, playing it safe here, not going for the ultra fancy stuff, but is going for door skip. Oh my goodness. GammaFunction. Trying to make it happen. There's one door. Unfortunately gets caught up in the spikes. Unfortunately gets caught up in the door. Door 2. Oh, so close. Come on, GammaFunction. You're like right there. Oh my god. There it is. Hey. Alright. Alright, GammaFunction. Wrapping up 2,500 meters. On pace for that sweet, sweet sub 110. This could be a gigantic PB. Depending on how 3,000 meters shakes out. Given how the first portion of Summit's gone for GammaFunction, I think he's in good shape. We'll see what happens here. Some nice wall bounces here at the start. 29 checkpoints to go. Really nice wall bounces, just kind of making sure that he's got them set up before moving ahead with them. And so that's going to be a nice start to 3,000 meters for GammaFunction here. 27 flags to go, 12 minutes. Can he pull it off? We are in the downdraft section, this section again. Really tricky just because you've got the wind pushing down on Madeline. So you just have to kind of make these wall bounces work here so that you can maintain some of your momentum here. But GammaFunction's got the strats right now. This is looking pretty good. And okay, a little bit of a stream hiccup. Not like this. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Did we get a stream crash? This is what I was fearing because we got... Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah. It looks like the speed gaming stream just crashed momentarily. Not like this. Well, let's I don't know. Let's just take a moment and stare at these black screens. Become one with the void. I want to know if GammaFunction PB'd, to be honest. Like, the tension's killing me. It was looking like it was going to be a sick PB. I just want to know what the final time was. I pulled up a beginner's breathing meditation script that I can read while we're waiting. During this breathing meditation, you will focus on your breath. This will calm your mind and relax your body. There is no right or wrong way to meditate. Whatever you experience during this breathing meditation is right for you. Don't try to make anything happen, just observe. Begin by finding a comfortable position, but one in which you will not fall asleep. Sitting on the floor with your legs crossed is a good position to try. Close your eyes or focus on one spot in the room. Roll your shoulders slowly forward and then slowly back. Now lean your head from side to side, lowering your left ear toward your left shoulder, and then your right ear toward your right shoulder. And relax your muscles. Your body will continue to relax as you meditate. Observe your breathing. Notice how your breath flows in and out. Make no effort to change your breathing in any way. Simply notice how your body breathes. Your body knows how much air it needs. Sit quietly, seeing in your mind's eye your breath flowing gently in and out of your body. When your attention wanders, as it will, just focus back again on your breathing. Notice any stray thoughts, but don't dwell on them. Simply let the thoughts pass. See how your breath continues to flow, deeply, calmly. Notice the stages of a complete breath, from the in-breath to the pause that follows, the exhale, and the pause before taking another breath. See the slight breaks between each breath. Feel the air entering through your nose. Picture the breath flowing through the cavities in your sinuses, and then down to your lungs. As thoughts intrude, allow them to pass, and return your attention to your breathing. GammaFunction just finished with a time of 109.50. Hey, that's a PB. GG's to GammaFunction. We're going to wrap up and move on to the next race. Have a great night, y'all. See you later. Bye.